the further you go down this path of like understanding what you've been through as a scapegoat, as a chosen one, the further you realize how aware you are and how unaware other people are. Man, I have a perfect example. I went on a motorcycle ride yesterday, and there's a nice little coffee place that I like to stop off at. And there was this guy that had a really tricked out, nice 2024 Lowrider S with the inverted front forks, the double disc front brakes. It's like my motorcycle on steroids. It's like an extra 100 pounds in weight. It comes with a little tiny fairing off the headlight, but so the guy's like really chill and mellow. We're talking about, his alterations to his bike. Talked a little bit about my bike, but with my bike there wasn't that much to talk about. I mean, because he had the kind of big floorboards with all the metal spikes coming up. He had the blacked out turn signals LED. He had rise that like T-bars with one of the gauges put right on top of the T-bar. I could go on and on with. He had Two Brothers exhaust black, the same one I want, but he hasn't put the tuner in yet. Yeah, so it was pretty impressive. Turns out he was an inmate for 5 years, and now he's ended up with a really good job where he gets to travel all around the country, and so he's got some good money. I said, you had some money burning a hole in your bucket, because it's a brand new bike. He had a Saddlemen seat. He didn't like the seat at first. He said it's pretty hard, but he's getting used to it. And on his right leg, right where the edge of the seat is, it causes like a soreness, because he's short, a little bit shorter than me even. But so I guess I let down my guard, and he's just a stranger. So he told me he believes in Norse gods, so like Odin and Thor. Okay. So I shared, that I'm half Irish, half German, and the Vikings plundered a lot, Scotland and Ireland, and would rape the women. So I have Viking blood myself. And then they even got all the way over into Germany. They traveled through the land too. They weren't just exploring by sea. And so I start to share with them how real Jesus is in my life. And it goes into the paranormal. And I shared so many paranormal experiences, like especially what happened to me for 3 years in San Pedro in that haunted house. That's what brought me back to the Lord. But I shared even like one night, it sounded like a car had crashed in. I had a nice wood porch in the front of the house, and it sounded like it got demolished in one split second, like a car, even though it was just a residential street with a big hill. Someone came down that big hill maybe and crashed right into that porch. The whole house shook, and it was just unmistakable from the front of the house. And so I just like caught my 9mm and a baseball bat and ran out there. It was the middle of the night. I just woken up. I was in my underwear, and absolutely nothing was there. And I shared with them how every night, without fail, this entity would walk down the side of the house where there's all these leaves, like pile of this leaves like this high. And it sounded like he would purposefully drag his feet through the leaves, kicking up and making this loud ruckus of kicking through the leaves. And then he would just kind of jump right through the wall and start kicking my bed, climb in bed with me, all kinds of crazy stuff every night. And the guy's eyes are getting kind of big. So anyways, the guy seems so mellow, and he lives in Prescott, that I was like, when I was getting ready to leave, we're both putting our helmets on and stuff, and I was like, do you have anyone to ride with? I normally prefer to ride alone, but do you have anyone to ride with? He's like, yeah, sometimes. I got a couple brothers, but one's out of state, but, I usually prefer to ride alone too. And so I just kind of left it at that, but basically it was like, I don't want to get your phone number. um, and I got home and kind of just realized the typical normal person, there's pretty much no way I can understand them, or they can't understand me, because this stuff is, the spirituality and the reality of it is become the only lens that I can look through. I have another acquaintance up here that I've been spending a little bit of time with, and I shared some of the reality of this spiritual stuff, and just silence. Just can't understand what the heck is going on. So the more we realize, the more we get set apart. So already we're kind of set apart from the beginning with, like, you're the truth teller, and your own parents will often turn their siblings against you, and then your cousin, your extended family, and run smear campaigns, because God forbid you end up telling the truth about them in any way, shape, or form. So they want to already have you pinned and isolated as the needy one, the depressed one, anxious one, the one that is delusional, So then it gets worse as an adult. Once you start really researching and finding out what's going on, possibly having to go non-contact, possibly these narcissistic families using black magic upon you, and at least cursing your name, and because if they can't control you, they're going to control how others see you. And so you lean more into that relationship with the Lord, which then upsets some demons that might be attached to you through family bloodlines. And then things escalate, like things going haywire in your room at night. And, there's just no going back. So you just end up staying alone with your Bible. And me, the rosary beads, I never knew white was supposed to be considered as feminine. Because I met someone, I said I got a new Harley a couple years ago to him, and he was like, you didn't get white, did you? I'm like, no, why? It's like, because that's for girls. It's like, gosh, okay. I used to love white Harleys. I had a 68 Mustang in Wimbledon white that I absolutely loved. I had my last car before this current car, a Honda Civic, hatchback, real cool little car in white. I always like the white with the black tinted windows, because white reflects the sun. So you get the white car, doesn't get as hot, and then you get the dark tinted windows limousine, at least where it's legal. And so I like that. But anyways, there you have it. There's no going back.